The Crew Lounge podcast offers a fresh perspective on the film industry, showcasing Hollywood through the lens of Black indie producers, with discussions about up-and-coming projects, personal stories of perseverance, and a focus on the systematic barriers within the industry, highlighting the resilience and creativity of Black filmmakers working to reshape the landscape of entertainment. So pictures up, quiet on set.
Let's go. Let's go.
Homies, yeah. Homies, it's a little late. It's a little late for us. But yeah. Welcome to the Crew Lounge with your Hollywood homies. I am Jay.
I am Gabby J.
And so we are here to give you the insights of everything film related, television related, all that good stuff, we that's what we do here at the Crew Lounge. So today we are going to talk about the pitfalls on set.
Ooh,
and how you overcome.
Spicy.
Yeah. And we've had our share.
So many.
No, so many. So many. I feel like everyone have a lot of just as an AD. My goodness.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah. So today's gonna be a real fun and exciting episode that we're gonna talk about. But let's talk about like the roles, right? So
good place to start.
Yeah. Let's talk about the roles and how, if you've never been on set, this is kind of the breakdown of these roles, right? So you have the producer, what I like to call the working producer. Okay, not like, the executive producer who might just give the money. Like the working producer is the one that's actually working to actually get things going on set. They're actually bringing, not even on set, way prior to. They're the ones that are getting together the director, the script, they're putting it, they're piecing it together, they're hiring, they're doing all of the things to make everything come together. And a lot of times they're also getting the executive producer on board. Getting the money, but they're working. So they're like working producers, right? So they're not just producers, but in name only. They're putting in work to get things going, right? Then you have other producers that might, co-producers that might contribute something to the set, to the production, and they might not necessarily even have to be there, So there's that. And then things kind of trickle down as the producers, they hire the director. Director then is in charge of kind of like the vision and how things are going. A little bit different on the television side, as the writers and the showrunner is the basic mastermind on film. The director is kind of like that creative mastermind. And then you have different positions, what I like to call is like point that play point, like point positions, right? So department heads, if you will, right? So you have your key grip as the department of all the other the head of all the other grips. You have your first AD, you know what I'm saying? So the head of the second AD and so on and so forth. And then a lot of times also kind of a running with like, intern.
PAs.
Like that. Right. And so then there's the UPM who's making things happen, the logistics, paperwork, things like that. The production manager kind of organizing things as well. And then you have other things underneath that. Your camera department, the DP is
hair
that
and makeup
person.
Yep.
And then you might have a second AC, first AC, second AC. So everything kind of trickles down. So you have these key people in position. Then they have their assistants and other people working in that department under them. And then, of course, you have your actors, which is working with the director. And a lot of times, first AD, second AD.
Hair, makeup, wardrobe.
Exactly. That.
Normally where they are.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah. So that's kind of like, this is the kind of overview of these positions. And there's a lot of personalities. When you have all these positions,
man,
lots of different personalities.
Oh yeah.
I'm a director, and I say usually to my students and other directors is that like the two people who are my best friends on set are actually my best friends on set. but the two people who are my best friends on set, this motherfucker right here is an AD, You know what I'm saying? And the DP, all right, the one that's behind there
Yes.
right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
These are the people that the director is the most comfortable and connected with
Yes.
because that's their opinion. I mean, everyone's opinion matters, but
Right.
then again,
Right.
opinions are like assholes also.
Okay. Everybody have one.
Right.
You
So
know.
that's the thing. So at the end of the day, this is my AD manages the people. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
else, the DP manages the creative vision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the director is my job to pull at the heartstrings and tell the story. You know what I mean? Usually,
Beautiful.
the last film that we did, a big film that we did, Rose and Concrete. Tay was my co-director as well. So
Mm-hmm.
but it was still kind of like a little bit of the same dynamic
Yeah.
where she was handling the visual logistics. I mean, not a lot of films have co-directors, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's just the way that we are able to work with each other.
Yeah.
It's not always very common. Usually there's
Yeah.
one director and that's just pretty much it. So yeah, so lots of things can happen. And it's not just on the independent level. I mean, they happen on big levels too. And it's not
Mm-hmm.
just on the big level, it happens
Yep.
on independent levels too.
Yep.
Lots of things can happen with lots of different types of personalities and lots of logistics and all the things that there's so many things that can go wrong.
Yes.
You know?
And that's like outside of the people.
Yes, outside of people.
Like outside of dealing with the temperaments and the personalities and the fact that we've been working on set hypothetically for 12 hours and everybody is tired and we still have another scene to shoot, and that scene is probably going to take about 3 hours realistically, even though we tell ourselves that we could do it in 30 minutes. Sometimes we can, and other times it's just not realistic. And like you said, there's so many things that can go wrong. And I've said this a few times on the show, like, on set is there's a rhythm, that and maybe it's only like that for me because I'm ADing most of the time. But it's like for me, like there's a rhythm, and trying to find that rhythm with the whole entire set, it takes time,
Yeah.
especially because you're bringing so many people together who've never worked together before.
Yep.
And you're just kind of expecting people to know how to like do their jobs, and everybody doesn't know that, and especially on the sets that we work on, where 1025 is so dope that there is a lot of training on those sets, and there's like a lot of patience, and um people just have opportunity to grow and learn on a 1025 set. I mean, we're basically teaching. I mean, and outside of them, I mean, 1025 was a learning set for me. So like it's I feel like every time somebody leaves a 1025 set, they've learned something. Like, and most of the time it's a lot of shit that they've learned. But as just going back to managing like the things going wrong with people, and I like I said, I've had the luxury of working with you guys where I don't have an issue with you guys, so I don't have to worry about wrangling in the director or the DP, or like also you guys do such a great job. It's so much better working on sets where you guys have my back and it's like we're a team, and not to say that we're going to ostracize anybody or bully anybody or not listen to other people when issues arise, but it's like if I come to you guys, with something that's like, I need help with this situation because this is above me, then the help is there. And on other sets, when you say the words, like there's so many things that can go wrong, it's like thinking about having to work with directors who don't really know like how the set works. And it's crazy to even run into that, but I have run into that so many times working with directors who really doesn't understand how a set is supposed to run.
Yep.
And it's hard when a director doesn't get that, because if it's, for instance, scripty, that's a little easier to deal with, right? Like you don't understand what's going on. I could send you up to somebody else or be like, go talk to this person. They can help you out.
Script supervisor.
Yes, a script suit. Another, we sure left that one out.
Yeah.
But that's not an easy role. And it's a lot of detail, a lot of attention to detail, and they have to be paying attention, honestly, just as
Right.
much as like the DP
Yep.
and the even more than the director or the AD, because they're watching so many, like they have to be aware of so many little things that the average person is just going to look over, you know? So them not really knowing their job or have the attitude or, dealing with things with them if something goes wrong is a lot easier for me
Yeah.
compared to like having to deal with a director who,
Yeah.
because it's like you're supposed to be leading the ship, like, and if you aren't in control, or if you don't know what's happening, or if you are out of control, like emotionally, then it's gonna crumble down, you know?
Boy,
Um,
man,
it-
I tell you, I tell you, I think a lot of times because you might have somebody who writes a script and they might be like, I want to direct it. Doesn't always mean that you're ready to
mm,
direct,
mm,
especially on when we're talking about certain levels
yeah,
of
yeah,
of directing. It
yeah,
doesn't mean that you're always ready because, like what you said about being able to have that emotional maturity,
yeah,
that's huge.
yeah,
And a lot of times, early directors or sometimes later directors are just
yeah,
assholes. You know what I mean? And they just kind of like they're spoiled. And like it's my vision, but at the same time, or you
yes,
have the
yeah,
directors that a lot of times you'll have the directors that feel like they know what they're doing, but when they walk on the
yes,
set, they
yes.
don't know nothing from
Not,
nothing.
oh my
Like they
lord.
don't know what, and you don't want to be that director for sure
Please don't.
because people
Please don't.
can sense, they can smell fear, they can
Yes.
sense it
Oh,
a mile
oh my.
away. And the moment you start saying, well, like other than the people that you're connected to, like the AD and the DP, those are the people that you really
Yeah.
really want to take their suggestions and take it to heart,
Mm-hmm.
and every now and then the key grip as well,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
lighting and all of that. But when you are in there and all of a sudden, you're brand new to everything, and all of a sudden people are just throwing things. I think we should
Yeah.
do it this
Yeah.
way.
Yep.
I think we need to do it this way. And that's when you know that the more comfortable they feel. And I'm not talking about small student films and all of that, but the more comfortable they feel with guiding you, the
Mm,
less they're gonna respect
mm.
you as a
That's deep.
director.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's like because I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen
Yeah.
where they're just like, I don't know. Do it that way, I guess. And then people are just like, yeah, okay, this is wild, wow,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And so, you may not think people are saying it to you, but if you're not confident as a director,
Yes. It
it's
shows, man.
it's
And on
shows.
set, it's hard to hide that,
Yeah,
because there's so many variables, so many different things that's happening, and people need answers,
yeah,
and direction. And
yep,
it's not only the actors. And I know you said, for you as a director on a set, your best friends as a director, DP and the first AD. And for me, it's the same, and even leaning more on the DP, because how you know just making sure that we are getting the director's
mhm,
vision
mhm,
without overloading the director with a
right,
lot of questions and
right,
problem solving things.
hmm,
And it's when I am working with an experienced director, then I'm able to alleviate that in a sense and kind of build a firewall around them, so that they don't get all every single last issue that's
right,
on set.
right,
But like sometimes working with certain directors, it's like I'm trying to do what I normally do, and they're like, "Oh, what's happening? What's going on?" Like,
hmm,
and I'm like, "You supposed to be listening to the DP right
yeah,
now. Like,
yeah,
don't worry about this over here.
yeah.
It's food stuff. We're getting the food stuff together. But we about to
You
shoot,
need
take
to
a shot,
be,
yeah."
yeah,
And you're well. I need to know what's going on with the food. I need to, no, 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 no. You need to focus on the vision.
yeah.
I shouldn't be telling you that.
That
Like, you
exactly.
should know
You
that.
need to be over there.
you,
And let me tell you, this motherfucker right here. You want an AD that is going to be a shield, right? So like so that you can be in a bubble. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, man.
And you're not nothing is necessarily penetrating your creative vision, your creative process, and all of that. You
Absolutely.
want an AD that is going to basically take all the hits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's basically gonna,
Yeah.
and they're gonna keep it away from you as much as
Yep.
they possibly can.
Hmm.
And I always say that, like, most ADs are assholes. This is what it is.
Yeah.
That's just what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
it's good to find an AD that knows how to walk the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's hard towing the line, man. It's hard.
And that is this motherfucker right here. She can walk the line
Man,
really, really well.
it's crazy.
Which is why, obviously, we always want her on our
Yeah.
side, because it's like she knows how to walk the line.
Yeah.
Like where it's like people respect her, but at the
Yeah.
same time, they listen to her, but at the same time they're not like, oh my gosh, and they
Yeah.
never get complaints about Gabby. Let's just be real.
Which is crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy to hear. Like,
Never,
it's so
never.
crazy.
Except for that one time. Well,
Right. That was a big complaint.
that was a different situation. That was a different
She had
situation.
mad complaints by HR. Okay. She
Yeah,
wanted to go.
that was a whole other thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
just wouldn't let her do her job.
Facts,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Facts.
But generally speaking, like there aren't, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
people still listen to her. And I remember one of the biggest things that there's so many different. I'm gonna get into like different examples and story time. All right. So I just remember we were on a set, and it was. If I tell you, if I say what it is, I'm not gonna tell you. But it was a long night. I'll put it that way.
That was the overnight.
Yeah, I'm trying not to say because it's not like we have no downtime. But it was a long situation.
It was a long day, yeah.
Everybody wanted to get out. Everybody was like, I want to get out now. Can I wrap my stuff? I gotta go to whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I remember feeling like, at the time we had so much that we were working with, because there were a lot of continuous scenes where everybody had to be in place, and everyone. It was crazy, and there was just so many people because it was a party.
Yeah.
But I feel like at that time there was like these little issues that were popping up, and a lot of times we didn't even really know.
Yeah.
That's true. That's the best way to be, is to not know that these things are happening. And she would tell us like after.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
this happened. This person had a whole meltdown. This person was
stuff, especially at night, because it's so testy and temperamental on night stuff. Like anything night related,
and if you have never done it before, you just don't know.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. And so and I'm sure you got even more stories than that.
Man. Yeah. And I mean, it's just like I said, I really got to see, like, once I got comfortable, ADing, I was going through all that training and stuff. And, once I built that confidence as far as like, okay, I know how to run a set. I know what I'm doing. I understand the positions. And for the most part, what it entails and things like that, as far as, it concerns. As far as like the set goes, like, I'm not gonna sit up here and make it seem like I know all of the details of every position, but it, like, I really felt like I was spoiled on that 1025 set. Because like for it to be, an indie set, it was just it is extremely advanced compared to a lot of indie shoots, and living in the indie world as a first AD, it is a crazy roller coaster. And like I said, a lot of other sets, it was like new directors, writers who were directors who were just super attached to the project, and they did not understand what the AD, what uh what the role of a first AD was. They didn't understand that. They just thought it was like, I bring you in and you do what I tell you to do. And that's it. Like, you don't do anything else. You if somebody needs to move their car, or if somebody needs to move lights on set, I'll do that. And I'll focus on that, and you just do what I tell you to do. And it's like,
like
that's
a PA.
like a PA. Like a PA. And it's like, that's not my job. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now you're stripping me from, and that back and forth with a director.
Mhm.
It's like, if I already have to come on and I have to do banter with the director about this, I don't feel like you're ready, honestly.
Yeah.
And you're focused on the wrong things.
Right.
And I can't do my job because you
Nope.
don't know how to do
I had
yours.
to do yours. You don't
So,
know what the expectations are. And the thing is, like, for us with 1025, like, when we do productions, I'm gonna tell you that again. It goes back to the 3 letters. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know.
you
I've
know,
mentioned it before.
Yep.
For us, our training ground and how to have a good set comes from 3 letters.
Yeah. Yeah.
L and lovers and friends. All right, because we were working with a lot of unprofessionals at that time, just new to everything,
Yeah.
and we knew every time we would have a new set episode or season or whatever it is, we were continuing to go further and further in the game. We knew that, like, how we wanted to run our sets. We knew what we wanted to take from that and not do it again, and because it's kind of like working with. I don't. I'm being nice. But it's like it's a moldable. You have to kind of learn how to. Okay, let me just back out of this part. Let me just back out of this because this is let's just say there's a lot of inexperience going on. You know what I'm saying? And so we're working with a lot of people that are not really also in it for the industry,
right? Yeah,
necessarily.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Not always professional. So by the time we did get to professionals, we want our set. Not only that, that wasn't the only training ground. It was working on other people's sets. That was a big training ground because we knew how weird it was. We knew how we could wrangle people and organize people and with barely any experience and in short spans of time. And we see people not being able to do any of that and being chaos on other sets, other big situations. And it was just like, oh my gosh, no. Like, we're not doing that. So for us, we give what we get at the same time, and we know how to pick people that are, for the most part, we try to make it a no asshole zone.
Yeah.
That's kind of like our main thing. No asshole. You know what I'm saying? We don't come in with the big egos. There are certain people I don't always engage with because we still got to try to keep it. I can't always, give the PA all the attention. When we're trying to,
Absolutely.
do this. You know what I mean? So there's still departments and there's still people doing their jobs and all of that. But for us, it was more so we want our set to be chill.
Yeah.
We've been on chaotic sets. Whether it was our sets in LNF or whether it was other people's sets, we've been on chaotic sets. So for us, we come in with the chill mindset. We have fun. You know what I'm saying? We laugh, but at the same time, we stay on time.
Absolutely.
Because we know how to shoot fast.
Yep.
Yeah. Get Q4 on time. You know what I'm saying? But we're not coming in with a stick up our ass. You know what I'm saying? Being like, it's gotta be my vision. Like,
right, man.
And you don't know that. Like, we don't come in with that energy because, we come in with the energy of, we are. A lot of people are giving up their time, energy, money. We don't know where it's going to go, and yet whether or not they're getting paid or not, people's time is valuable. At the end of the day, so we don't come in with no crazy, expectations because we know how people treated us as PAs when we were working on set and all the stuff that we were doing. So for us, that's our main thought process is that we don't want to work with assholes. Why? And so a lot of people we work with are the same people that we know we can work with.
And it makes a difference. Yeah.
It makes such a big difference. And so that's been, the biggest hurdles I would say is just knowing how to manage time and manage people. And you gotta have, just as a director, if you're a director kind of just coming into the game, you gotta have a strong AD. And a strong DP. And you need to be able to communicate with your actors with some level of respect and not just, everybody's here to do my stuff. That's just it. And I'm coming in with the title, and it's like, who cares? You're the director. That doesn't mean you're a good one.
Wee! And I would just say, as we move on, just as far as just ADing goes, it is a lot of, like you said, towing the line, and then also being flexible, and adaptable, and not taking things personally if you can. As long as my thing is, as long as I'm not being disrespected, then it's isn't a personal thing. We're all here to get the job done. So
Right.
yeah, I'll just leave it there for now.
Yeah. So let's talk about what we watching. What we watching.
What am I watching? So right now, I'm taking it to YouTube. I really be messing with the Coach Prime. His son, damn, his name blanking. I'm blanking. I'm so sorry, but his son kind of follows him around, do like BTS and stuff, and BTS of like the football players and all that type of stuff. And I just think it's so dope how he just kind of took that into his own hands, understanding like the product he has in front of him, and instead of like clearly Deion Sanders has a documentary that Amazon Prime is doing on him as well, but his son gets the most intimate footage, and it's so behind the scenes, it's so raw. It's incredible to see what he took with just a little Sony camera, and
I gotta check that out.
yeah. Sometimes I don't think he do it anymore, but I know last season he was having his dad, Coach Prime, actually wear like the GoPro or whatever, and you would get like a firsthand experience of him coaching and talking to the kids and stuff, and just really expanding media. I'm sorry, really expanding like media, what you can do, like and get sponsors and shit to pay for. Like, so to me, that's been super inspiring. That's what I've been watching. So
mine is on a whole other, and it's not as meaningful.
Okay.
It's kind of like guilty pleasure. Love is Blind. I'm sorry.
How you feel about this season?
Oh man, and see that's the thing. I don't know when this.
Oh yeah. We'll talk off camera. There's a
lot. I love the color. I will say I love the color this season.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I've also been watching in between when they drop it. I've also been watching Love Is Blind Habibi. And I feel like that is so interesting.
What is that?
Me.
What's that?
So it's Love Is Blind, but like on the Middle East type of. And it's interesting to me because they actually go. You know how like in Love Is Blind they go kind of like on the honeymoon, but it's before the wedding and all this stuff. They go on a little vacation and they sleep together in the thing, and everybody kind of hooking up and sleeping in the hotel. They don't do that in Love Is Blind Habibi. They just have dates. They go to the destination and they still have dates. They still like real separated. Everybody making out and that. So it's like culturally, I'm just curious about.
That's wild.
The other side of how it kind of works. So I love that. Love Is Blind Habibi is good too. But that American version is like hitting. I ain't gonna lie. It's a guilty pleasure.
That's my wife's jaw right there. Yeah.
I love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and so what we working on?
Man, I have some things in development that actually, I guess I'll just say this, what I just told y'all. So in the development, a short web series that we're trying to do. But very, very early stages of development. So
very early stages.
Very early.
Very early stages. I'm gonna piggyback off that. Yeah, it's something that fits with something that we were thinking about a long time ago.
Yeah.
So it might just be time for us to put out some short content.
Yeah.
We haven't really done that before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We just like to do everything. So like,
Facts.
I don't buy that whole like, oh, you can't do this and that.
Oh,
like, nah,
period.
Nah, we do what we want to do over here.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so let us know what y'all watching. You know what I'm saying? Taste it. Yeah, give us more topics. Let us know what you're watching. Let us know what you're working on. Any guests you want to see? Do you want to be a guest?
Thanks, producer.
Like, yeah, I mean, I'm like, what am I talking? What am I talking? Like,
She got it.
she got shot. All right, man. Don't take my name. Come on. I'll say, I don't know to me. Come back to me. Like, the guy from she's deflected.
She's shooting over there, man.
I guess so. Hey, that would be fun. That was my superstar name, Shay. All right, no. But anyway, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and it's a wrap.
It's a wrap, y'all. It's a wrap. Next time, we'll get next time.